welcome y'all to another Impromptu Debate You, the show where we have conversations with people on the fly. We are talking with someone named Salty Princess today. There may be other people. I am going to do quick shout outs, quick introduction, and then I'm going to jump right on there. I will say that this seems to be a Christian channel converting Muslims, but I believe that they are having conversations with atheists as well. And so I am headed down there to, I guess, see what's up. And what is up, everybody? Yes, please don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, because when you do, that gives you access to our bell icon to see our premieres or join our live streams. What is up, GarudaLegends? What is up, everybody? You have a good faith debate for me. Fantastic. I am about to go into Discord, Garudo, but I am open for having those conversations. We could either have one on our own, or if you want, I'm going down to the Politics and Religion server on Discord, and you can join. I see, that's funny. I see that person that I am doing getting server muted and all sorts of stuff. Ooh, this might be a wild card episode. All right, well, I just want to send love to everyone, all of our channel members with our evolving badge system, all the people that send in super chats, all the Patreons at patreon.com/Amy Newman, along with all of our supporters like Azo and Chris Disciple, Dale Pastel, Dave Gar, Rachel Holland, Ian Davenport, and Regos. Also sending love to my co-host, James W. And what is up, Robin? Sending love. I'll show everyone's name up on the screen afterwards, but I guess I'm going to go in. I'm looking at the screen, and the person I want to talk to just got server muted. So, this is going to be interesting. I get the feeling. I guess I'm just going to jump right into it because now I'm interested why the person I want to talk to is server muted. Oh, you don't mind where you want me? Oh, and she just left. No. Hold on, I'm trying to share my screen. I just joined it because now I'm angry. Let's see if I can get this to work. Don't hear anything. Voice, yep. When I hit something, it's not saying I could talk. Exciting content already, folks. I apologize. Let me figure out what's going on because no one in here is talking. I don't hear anyone. Which is kind of weird. I normally have it on voice, push to talk. Hello? Hello. Oh no, it's not working on voice activation either. Huh. I don't know what happened. Yeah, Garudo, I might just end up talking to you. Maybe I'll replace the name. Because I get the feeling that this person either got server muted or it's very weird. The channel I joined, you cannot talk right now. No one's talking. If I go in here, will I hear people?
So wait.
Oh,
You don't
it's
accept the
gonna do.
situation?
Yep, sound definitely works. No one's talking. Join another channel just to see if I can.
On the stony rock. But remember, all of them are actually accept the grace of God. But the ones that get saved are the ones that fell on the good soil and they produce good fruits.
Huh. Very word. Awaiting endpoint. Voice details. Yeah, waiting. Very odd. All right. I'm gonna possibly change this from Salty Princess. I'm gonna invite you, Gerdo. Oh, people caring about the trans thing. So important. If I could spell, that would be amazing. Okie dokie. Yeah, this person was called Salty Princess. They got no text now. Well, they're not going to tell me they were server muted if they don't have text. Well, this has been fun. All right. Gerdo, I'm sending the link in there. We'll switch it. Because really, I just want to have conversations with people. Proud straight man. Straight is not the opposite of transgender. But, whatever. Cool. I'm bi, so we like gays and straights. We can't help ourselves. What's up, Taco? Yeah, probably should be on politics because something happened here. I don't know. Oh, I see Garrido in the back. All right, so we're gonna switch it over. Give me 1 second, Garrido. Though I have a picture of a princess in the thing. That's going to complicate things. Picky. But sometimes our best made plans, let me tell you. All right, updated the title. I'll worry about the image later. We'll pretend that I'm the princess. What is up, Garrido? Can you hear me? Might be away for a second. I did say that I was getting set up, but that's okay. I'll keep on blabbing while he's getting set up. Oh.
1 second.
Sure.
I don't have anything to cover my hair because I have a scar on my head. So Amy, can you give me like a couple something? Okay.
You're good. I can blab and blab.
Okay. But I have actually a good faith debate and you will not be ashamed. Okay.
Oh, that sounds
good. Give me like 2 minutes. Okay.
That sounds good.
Thank you so much, Amy.
All right, I'll just blab for a few more seconds. What's up, Sven? What's up, April? Sending love again to Robin and Breakfast Tacos. You should all be checking out Taco's channel. He does great content. We were just on the Theist Helpline the other day having fun. Ooh, but that's all they care about. I'm literally in the religious channel, and all I can see is them going talk about transgender identity politics. I've been talking about it more. It can't escape me, unfortunately. And I'm proud of my LGBTQ brothers and sisters. Sometimes maybe I lament it so much. It might seem like I'm, I don't want to come off the other way. It's that I do think that it's more just character design. Oh, yep. Hello. Welcome.
Hey, I know you like this shirt.
Yes, I do. I'm a big Final Fantasy fan.
Okay, so I'm gonna
Especially
speak
7.
to you. I don't have like my microphone set up because I just came back to my city. Is it okay if I talk? But if anytime I don't mind getting a camera to see what people look like, because I'm okay with my location and who I am being exposed because I have nothing to hide underneath this beautiful ball which you call Earth.
Mm-hmm. That sounds fantastic. I just don't have my camera on because my face isn't on.
Okay, so I'll turn off the camera. But I want to talk because
Either
I have
way.
so many questions to ask you, and also too, I want to have a good faith debate. And
Sure.
I learned a lot in my 39 year of living on Earth and still alive.
I couldn't agree more. And we're about the very similar ages. Um, but yes, I guess I would come to you asking what you believe and more importantly, why.
Okay, so I had an encounter with ghost encounters. So I was always kind of like an agnostic, even though I submitted myself to being baptized because I believed in God. And this solidified my belief in that everything is created and we were created.
All right, so it stems back from a ghost.
No, it stems back from religion and the fact that I was created by my mom and dad, but I was the understanding in order to have a creation, you have to be created. So this stems back since I was born as a baby.
I agree. To have a creation, you must have a creator. What I would disagree is I would say you're not a creation. I would say you're a formation. I would say I'm a formation. I would say humans are formed via sex.
Formed in the image of what?
Their mom and dad.
Previous humans, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I understand your terminology of formation, which I agree with you. So that just gives the truth about creation, even though you want to use a different word.
Sure. I use a different word very specifically. It sounds pedantic, and if like we were just having a regular or a lay conversation, I wouldn't be, I wouldn't say anything. But because it's very specifically a religious, and I would say kind of not verse science, it is in my opinion, but I know many theists don't view it that way. I would say a creation very specifically is artificial, and
Okay, I
thus,
agree with you.
oh yep.
Sorry, go ahead.
No,
Sorry, I cut you off.
continue. Well, my thus would actually be there's very few creations that we know of.
Well, okay, I agree with you because I started following you after the debate you had about transgenderism and also to
Mhm.
religion. So I'm a hardcore Baptist, but I just realized there's something that I cannot explain. So I want to say that my topic is going to be about transgender ideology and ghost theory. So as because I already
Okay.
know when I watch, okay, yeah. So Amy, I already listened to you, and I think I could theorize the concept of ghosts. But the thing is, can an atheist use science to construct the concept of ghosts? Because I think I can.
So, and let me clarify one more time. You are saying ghost, right?
Yes, the concept of a ghost, but by an
Oh,
atheist.
sure. I do not believe ghosts exist. And so I would press you on that, and I'll tell you why I don't believe ghosts exist. I view a I view a ghost. Oh, someone, sorry. I
Well, can you
heard
hear
some.
me, Amy?
No,
Amy,
no,
can you
no.
hear me?
I was still in the Discord. I heard another person talking, and I went, "Oh my." Um.
Oh no,
So,
so my
so
argument is I want an atheist to explain to me the concept of a ghost.
sure.
Because I
So,
have a concept of a ghost, and I actually been waiting for a long time when you went live stream to explain to you scientifically. Because a lot of atheists don't believe that theists can explain the concept of a ghost, but I can.
Well, I'll tell you how I view a ghost, and you can tell me if you agree or disagree, and if you have evidence for it. I view a ghost as someone who was living and is now either deceased and either stuck between some sort of worlds, that's what they tell me, or is on the other side somehow, whatever that means, and is able to communicate to us. Do you agree with either of those?
Okay, well, so you just explained two terms of hypothetically, in my opinion, like religious views about it, where they don't have an explanation, but I have an actual scientific explanation. So I
Okay.
don't think that could actually get into like a scientific explanation for like a ghost experience. So I'm actually new to
You
explain
can
like
or you can't.
no, what you just said, the two things that you just said, the two scenarios is not
Uh-huh.
scientific.
I
But
I agree.
I could actually try and break down scientifically. I'm not as smart as you by any bounds, but I could give you a scientific term
Oh,
in it. But since you're so smart, I want you to break it down scientifically of the concept of a ghost.
I just want you to know, Garudo, that flattery gets you everywhere. Just want you to know that.
Okay, thank you. I do have a cute smile,
I,
so okay.
I would just ask you, what type of ghost are we talking about, and what scientific means can you provide to show they exist?
Okay, so I don't want anyone to steal my ideology of like the concept of ghosts, but when it comes to the light spectrum, okay? So that means like the reflection of light reflecting on Earth. Also to
The visible
how Earth
spectrum.
is hmm?
The visible spectrum of light.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Okay, so you tracking with me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the other one is to sorry, not the other one too, but the other one is the concept of electrical so you know something that like is like, hey yo, I know the wire is not live, but you don't want to step on it because there's still a little bit electrical charge in there.
Sure, I would say that's still just electric running through oftentimes, metal wires, but
Okay, so then you're smarter than me. Without a doubt, I'll openly admit it. But you do know that you don't need like electricity running from a grid of electrical power from like the government. You could easily like conduct your own electricity with like a strike of lightning, or you could use
sure.
energy from light, which light you need oxygen to have a fire. To be more specific.
Sure. So I'm with you that we can have other sources. We don't need the government. We could use waterfalls. We can use wind. We can use all sorts of ways to generate power. But help me attach this back to a ghost.
Okay, so no, the win, because like I know it's corny, so don't laugh at me, but I'm being serious. We're like, woo, it's just like, oh my god, I just heard a
I'm
ghost.
sorry.
But the power of wind, and we have the ability to conduct power, and humans learn it from like using the power of an element which is called wind, which is invisible,
Mhm. Wind
which is
is
invisible to
wind.
make turbines. Mhm.
Sure, we can't see wind, but we can detect it. And we can do tests to prove that it's true, and we understand it as a natural phenomena.
That is 100% true what you just said. But the thing is, like I think most people want deny the concept of
That's
gravity
true.
or
Wind.
wind.
I see beams. That's true. Technically, we can see it. I guess what I would say is we see the effects. When the wind blows, you see the flag waving, or you feel it on your skin. You feel the moisture being evaporated and things like that. It, can I ask, have you been visited by a ghost?
Yes, accidentally.
Accidentally? Can
Mm-hmm.
I ask what that situation was?
Well, yeah. So I was like in the Caribbean, and I was like I believe I was like 17. But I was smoking weed and I accidentally stepped on these two people graves, these two young girl graves who died in a car accident. And I was just like, I didn't understand it. But I was telling my friends, like, yo, every single time I'm over there on my computer, I'm trying to do stuff on my computer. I was watching porn, but corn, sorry. And all
Oh,
of a sudden,
come
it's just
on.
like,
Is this
no,
you're
no,
not
no,
you're not
no,
trolling?
it's a true story. No, no, hold on, it's a true
Okay.
story.
Okay.
And also
Mhm.
too, like when I was doing that, all of a sudden, or listening to music, all of a sudden, um, there was like I was just like, what was wrong with my mouse? And all of a sudden, it just opened up Microsoft Paint, and it was drawing squares, circles, and triangles. It's not like perfect; it was just like squiggle. And I will never forget that. It was like something that was like, hey, yo, what's that sound? So I run outside. So I was just like, okay, when I hear that sound of two children, it was two young females who didn't even make it to the patch of age of 17. And it was like giggling and just playing it. I was just like, what? And I opened up the door and slide it. I was just like, when I moved to another location, my computer never had the experience again, and I never heard the giggling because it was trying to play tag with me. It was so bizarre. So that's something I cannot explain,
I
but I
can
do know for
agree that's
sure.
weird, but I don't know. So I'll give you an example, and this is literally today, and it's just it's a coincidence. But I turned my computer on today, and uh, it was forcing like my mouse to go into like a different mode. It's hard to explain, but my computer was stuck. It was drawing things, and I had to literally unplug my one keyboard and plug in a new keyboard for it to stop doing that. And it was
Hmm.
frustrating and annoying, but what I would say is that the solution is probably within the fact that moving parts eventually break down and they eventually have faults in them.
No, but see, the thing is, when I moved to another location, because I was working at an oil refinery, and these young children died. When I moved over there, like not even shortly, I never had
Mm-hmm.
the sound of children giggling, and also too, my computer worked completely fine. I never had that situation again. That's a big difference. And I still had the same keyboard, mouse, and everything. I was just like, what? Because at the time I was just like, okay, and then I
But
just like. I literally was just like, okay, I could hear the laugh again at this time, and I literally run out and open up the door, and all of a sudden it just was quiet. I was just like, I will find you.
again, that's weird. But I could make up scenarios that I think fit that better than a supernatural one. For example, could it be someone walked past your house and they had a giggle ringtone and you didn't even notice it and you hear this
Mhm.
weird giggle
No,
and then you never hear it again? I'm not
no,
saying
I
that's
wasn't.
what happened,
No,
but
no, I told you that. I told you that just like I waited to hear the giggle and move so fast that I got out of my seat, and then I literally opened up the sliding screen door because it was like 2 story, and I just like moved myself so fast and just like what
but
the, and then I
but
was
it
just like close it
but it
again. So there's
but
no
it couldn't
one
have
because I
been.
was at that time I was the fastest person around the town.
Sure, but couldn't it have been a pop up? Couldn't have been something on the TV? Couldn't have been something? I don't want to say we heard. We have oftentimes thought processes going on in our head, a track. All I'm saying is there's, I would say, lots of other explanations. What pushes you in the direction specifically of Ghost?
Because simply is because when I moved to another location, it never happened again
But I
with the
mean,
same computer,
why
and it
would
didn't
that?
change anything, and it never happened again.
But why would it only happening once mean a ghost? The ghost was
Because I
like, ah, I
accidentally
scared
stepped on.
him.
I actually okay. So there was two young girls, and I was
Okay.
smoking weed, and I actually stepped on the grave, and I was just like, "Oh crap!" Because I was just like, "What is this little metal or like aggressively?" I was like, "Oh, I'm standing on a tombstone," and then
Can I give you, I just want to put this. This is me helping you as a fellow pothead. Never start a conversation where other people are skeptical about what you're going to say without smoking a bunch of weed and then ... I'm just saying, again, one pothead to the other, how that comes off. But continue.
okay, I understand this because I'm not here to put people into being a theist or atheist or agnostic. I'm just
Mhm.
trying to see if you have it can construct the theory the scientific theory of explanation of ghosts from an atheist.
Well, I would give a sign. I wouldn't say there's a scientific explanation. I'd give you a sociological and psychological explanation, is that humans don't like that we die. And so it's way more comforting to think that there are pieces of us that live onward. I think this stems from how much weight and how much, I would almost say, magical quality we give to consciousness. We think consciousness is
Amy?
this. Yes?
I hate to cut you off.
No,
because
by
you're
all
the
means.
biggest
I've done
sweetheart
it a few
ever.
times.
But I need you to say something scientific. I already give you scientific stuff. The power of wind, the
I
power of
would
electricity.
if I could just say, I would argue you haven't given me anything scientific yet.
Okay, so I don't want to repeat myself, so I give you something new that I'm thinking about to explain this scientifically. Because as religious people, we created science. Atheists are just pretending that they're scientists.
I disagree with both. I think that's a false dichotomy. I think that's just being hyperbolic. Like atheists and theists are both scientific. I mean, I would say I'm biased. I think that atheists definitely more in the scientific realm, but there's nothing stopping the leading scientists in the world from being theists. I'm not saying they're dumb or anti-science. What I'm saying is what you've presented to me so far has been your personal experience.
Okay.
And I still can't connect wind. You're trying to use wind, you're saying, as something you said is something you're pushing forward as scientific evidence for a ghost.
That is true. So
I don't understand how.
Let me explain my theory with wind.
Okay.
So my experience with wind and fire, I'm like a parakinestic, but I'm not an arson. Also, too, I'm like a master of wind because I deny wind because I'm a meteorologist. But however, though, you cannot explain
what?
sometimes.
Did you just say I deny wind because I'm a meteorologist?
No. I understand hurricanes and wind because I am a meteorologist.
Oh, you are a meteorologist, and you understand. Yes. Okay. I've love not only meteorology, but my nephew is going into environmental science, so I'm excited. Okay.
That is good, but you have to understand there's always the message, just like, why is the wind blowing this way? Is it either the wind is just being stubborn, or is it like an entity? So this is a lot of questions.
I feel bad.
Because
you are, and I hate you are a meteorologist?
I am.
Trained meteorologist? But the wind, isn't that come from different heat patterns between the warm and the cold fronts, and they
depends, because I've been through Hurricane Hugo, and also too, like I'll do a rain dance, and also too, when people like need an umbrella, I'll get my feet wet so I could rain dance. So I'm a different type of build meteorologist.
I will say that is a different type of, because meteorology is normally studying the weather. It's more like I would say a recording of it. It's not normally you're trying to generate it.
Or I could generate it with my physical body. What the?
Oh, come on! Are you okay? Continue. I heard a giggle. I swear I heard a giggle. And I'm like, my trollometer is always going out there. But I've heard, let me tell you, some fascinating things on this channel. And so I try to keep an open mind. Continue. I'm sorry. I don't mean to giggle, but you did just claim that you can generate the rain. Right? Uh-oh. I think a hurricane. Did a hurricane get you? Oh, boy. Did we lose you, Garuda? I never want to do the challenging of credentials because there's lots of theists out there, highly accredited. Oh, he's back. We got a different one. Okay, maybe. I don't know.
Amy, can you hear me?
I can.
I think there's an echo. Is it on my end, or did I accidentally?
I don't hear it. I did remove you from the stream. Does that help? There's two of you in here, but I removed one from the stream.
Oh, remove me, and I come back. It should fix the echo.
Kick the other. I could kick the other one. Kick from studio. Oop.
No, sorry, the Streamlabs. Sorry,
Yep.
StreamYards.
There's
StreamYards,
just
I
you now.
apologize.
Now there's just you.
Oh, okay. Yes, so yes. If you understand the power of inertia, the power of heat, the power of cold, the power of elements, you could spin around long enough to cause a tornado. Do you accept this as truth or no?
No, I mean, I feel like that's superhero logic. And while I'm a fan of superheroes, you would have to create some sort of crazy technology to do that.
Okay, so I'm not one to like say certain exists because I don't give human beings credit enough to cause hurricanes. I think it's just a natural phenomenon. But you do realize that
It
just
is.
like heat and cold, when they combine, you could cause like a natural disaster.
Sure,
Do you
I would
accept this
say
as
that's
science or
kind
no?
of.
Or
I would
religious
say
mumbo
you're.
jumbo?
No, I would say the differences within these heat patterns and how the clouds lay is how we make tornadoes and hurricanes. They end up within these rotating motions because of the globe. That's why they rotate differently depending on where you are. It rotates differently in the United States and on Australia. But these are natural phenomena. We know how a tornado will be spinning and it gets kind of tilted downwards and eventually has a touchdown.
Amy, you're super smart. So like I want you to, or I will do it because
Mm-hmm.
this is where I'm here because I listened to your last debate that you had and you were aggressively smart. Okay. So I wanted you to
Well,
explain
thank you.
scientifically with the possibility and the concept of ghosts because I don't want to have to break down to the possibility of electromagnetic fields, electricity, and also to the power of wind, invisibility, and also to how wind could blow on something that has electric. So I want you to, can you scientifically explain it? Because every time I try to scientifically explain it, you always go back to like, oh, religious. I want to do it scientifically because I can. I just want you to give me a chance, my friend.
I'm open to that. I just don't know how you can prove it scientifically. I'll give you all the time in the world. I just.
Okay. So let me break it down to you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So energy, atoms, the power of wind, the power of conserving food, the power of also too when you wake up or electrical magnetic shock when you rub your foot on the carpet with with it like a
Static electricity, yes.
yes, static electricity. Also to blood, which is also too can burn down into multiple things. Primarily, before the whole process of like blood banking, um, into dirt. Also, too, the reflection of the human skin off of our natural uh beam, which is called Earth. Sorry, not Earth. Sorry, the sun,
But
soul.
can I pause you for a second? Oh,
Yes,
also,
always. You can. You
Tacos. He
can.
said You said you're a Baptist, right?
Yes.
So we've been talking about atoms, energy, static electricity. What does this have to do with a ghost, though?
Because ghost either doesn't exist or any type of neurons or electricity pulses or anything that exists as living organism doesn't exist, just like you cannot explain gravity or air, and just people say like, oh well, we have a theory about it but we can't see it.
Sure. Well, I would say theory does mean that it's the highest level in science. That's why we do say the germ theory of disease, the theory of gravity. So there is nothing higher than a theory. And it does make me hesitant when you say it's just a theory. That makes me think that you're using it in the same way that science would use the term hypothesis that make
Yes,
sense?
because it's science. Yes, I want you to scientifically explain the concept of ghosts. This is what I want to ask because you're extremely smart. This is why I want to ask you, and not like bougie atheists who's like, "Oh, you believe in ghosts? I scared out of you." Blah 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 blah. They're like, "Huh, circle jerk." I actually believe in you because I think you're way smarter than everyone else. Because I gave
You
you
should watch me
multiple
walk into
situations.
walls at home. But yes, I appreciate that.
No, I mean I could walk in a wall if I'm built enough. I just like whoo walk through that wall.
Oh, I just mean I could be. I appreciate you calling me smart, but again, you should watch me parallel park. Um, yes.
Sorry, you cut me off guard with that one.
No, you're fine. And so I'm trying not to give you what would be the snarky answer, because from my perspective, the scientific answer, and again, this may seem fedora. If it is, push back. From our view, and I guess I'd say the majority of skeptics and the majority of atheists, because there's nothing technically about ghosts. It's not a god. But I would say most skeptic atheists view ghosts scientifically as not existing. It comes instead from a desire internally and from a fear. Because
Okay, so let me hypothesize you though, and actually, if this is true or not. If I like rub my foot on a carpet and like, zzz, if I touch you on your neck and you're like, ha ta will it be something that you can physically see, or will it just be straight up
no, it's
static?
static. It's static electricity because we
Mm-hmm.
conduct electricity because we are
Exactly.
biochemical organisms.
Mm-hmm. But you can't see it though until it touches you, and you can't
Sure,
even see it when you get zapped.
but
Like
see,
most people,
this
when they get
is
electrocuted, they can't even see it. Just like, what's happening? Is he dancing or is
but
he
can
like
I push
twerking?
back on this?
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't not believe in ghosts because I can't see it. There are tons of things that I can't see that I would argue we believe. In fact, I would say gravity is a prime candidate and example. We know gravity exists. We know not only, Newtonian, we know it from a general relativity
I accept
perspective.
gravity. I accept gravity.
What's that?
I accept gravity.
Well, exactly. But I would say the bigger notion is that I accept gravity. And because I accept gravity, I feel you should be able to convince me scientifically of something that, although we can't see, there are other ways. So what you're trying to do is by analogy. You're like, well, here's wind, and we can't see wind. And I would say, well, look, here's gravity. We can't see gravity. But then here's ghosts. Not only can we not see ghosts, but there is no a little electric bolt. There is no weighing down of gravity. So I would need some sort of phenomena. I guess the example you gave me is the giggle, but I don't get why the
We could
giggle.
giggle forever, but I need you to be serious because I need a scientific
Hero power, I
explanation,
swear.
and I need like you to construct the theory of ghosts without like accepting ghosts. I don't want you to accept ghosts or not, or believe in it, ghosts or not, but I need you to make a scientific theory because I could talk to you about like how sometimes when you're sleeping and just like, oh, you wake up and it's like, huh, it's like the moon, even though you're in the side of like a building, you can feel the moon rising you,
You can
right?
feel the
You
moon
felt, I'm sorry,
rising
not the
you?
moon, the sun. You felt the
The
sun and
sun.
just like, oh, when I'm up, and just like because the sun is out.
Sure, because you
Yeah, you
feel
feel
it
it through a
heated
building,
on your
even in,
face.
pajamas and like with it, you feel it, right? That's
I
invisible
feel
power, but
I
that's kinetic energy,
okay, but these are
invisible.
things. Exactly. I would say my gripe with Ghost is not that they are invisible, it's that they don't exist.
Ah, well then you would have to get rid of the theory of polar magnetism. You have to get rid of the whole theory of magnetism, polar magnetism,
Are
the
you saying
concept of wind and
magnetism doesn't
gravity.
exist?
Say what?
Are you saying magnetism doesn't exist?
No, I said you have to remove the theory
Why?
that you have to remove the theory that you have that gravity exists, wind exists, magnetism exists because you cannot prove magnetism without a magnet. but you
I'm
can't
sorry.
prove you can no you cannot prove magnetism of the Earth's poles, northern and southern poles. You cannot prove the equator exists. You have to
The
like I'm
equator,
challenge your
the equator is just a man-made invention. Like there's no line in the middle of the Earth.
no, I know it's invisible, but it's called the equator because that's where the moon rotates. Sorry, not the moon.
So,
The sun rotates around it in the
yeah,
perfect
because there's a band of UV exposure, and the highest is at that equator, and
yes.
that's why we have our skin tones.
That is true because the more northern you go, either from like into the Tropic of Cancer or the Tropic of Capricorn, you lose the melanin exposure. So over time, is like the equator people have more darker skin versus people who like live in climates that's more light, and they just
Mhm.
have like basically like slight changes in the human looks. But
But
when it
see,
comes to like
that's
evolution, they don't have no proof that they evolved from monkeys because
that's a misnomer. We share a common ancestor with monkeys, but we are in fact apes.
I will never
'Cause-
call you an ape or a monkey. We're human beings and we was created. So let's dial it back because I think we're getting a little bit too far away.
Sure, but that would say that I'm not a human. So I have to be an
No,
ape,
you're a
or I'm not a
human.
human.
No, you're a human, but you're
Are
not
you
a ape.
are you a mammal?
No,
You're not a mammal.
I'm a human being. We're different from mammals.
But we're not though, because we're both
Yeah,
apes and
but
mammals.
hold on, Amy. I'm not here to slander you, but didn't you say that you watch something and say that like human beings are related to mushrooms?
Yes, every life
Okay,
on
so
Earth.
yeah, we are not a mushroom.
Yes, indeed, we are not a mushroom. We're
Yeah,
closer related to
you're too
mushrooms
complex in
than.
DNA. We're too complex in DNA to be a mushroom or a banana.
No, that doesn't make sense because they're also multicellular organisms. We're also closer related to fungus than plants.
I disagree with you. However, though, I
Science
would say
doesn't.
no. I would say that some people, like me, I'm an extraterrestrial. However, though, as an Earthling, we share a lot of stuff with other Earthlings. Just why I'm like a plant, like a banana tree. A banana tree is an Earthling, just like me. I'm a human being,
Yes,
but
but they're also
I'm an Earthling.
multicellular
But I don't.
organisms. We're
Yeah, but
all multicellular
I don't
organisms.
share DNA with a banana though.
No, you share DNA with a banana tree.
Yeah, but there's water on Earth. Do you think I share some real DNA with water?
Is water a living organism?
Okay, well, okay, that's fair. But okay, so there's a lot of living organism, um, two cell organisms or less. There are
Okay.
literally living organism in water,
Yes, I
but
would actually say most
they're still
organisms are single
earthlings
cells.
though. Single cell, yeah, true.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So
no,
let's go back to ghosts though.
but we're also related to single-celled organisms. But okay, we could go back to ghosts.
We're a multiplex organism. We're not single cells. So if
No,
your theory
but
that
we're
we used
related
to
to
been,
single cells.
well, that's the big conundrum. If you can't prove it though, because when
Yes,
did
we
you
can.
think that we evolved from a single cell into a multiplex human being?
When one organism ate another
No, no,
organism
okay, no,
that we
no. I'll do you
now
one
call
better.
mitochondria. Can you explain to me why you have two sets of DNA?
Uh, can you repeat that and tell me what kind of two sets of DNA I have? Because you have
Sure,
to
you
prove
have
that I have
your
two sets of DNA.
DNA and you have your mitochondria DNA. They're two completely
Oh,
sets of
I'm an African
DNA.
person, so I don't have RN DNA. So like I only
No,
have one
all
DNA.
not only do all humans, all multicellular organisms have mitochondria. All plants have it, all fungus have it, all animals have it, including humans.
Okay, well, okay. So if we want to get into this, I'll take a knee on this one, okay? Because you're gonna like dunk on me.
I'm sorry, and I don't
So
mean
unless you dunk
to.
on me now, but we
I'm
need to go
not
back.
trying.
I'll let you dunk on me now. Go ahead, dunk on me and dance and do a cute dance or whatever.
But can I tell you, there's
I'll take a
nothing,
knee on this one.
and there's nothing within evolution that says that you can't be a theist. So even in accepting that, that doesn't really
No, I
like.
agree with you. I agree with you.
Okay, so there you go. We can go back to ghosts.
Thank you. So I still waiting for you to use your beautiful atheist brain to construct the concept of ghost.
I would say I'll go back to the same example. The only examples we have of ghosts are humans who tell us they've seen ghosts, but there's no
Okay,
scientific
hold on,
evidence
no,
for it.
Amy, maybe
Mhm.
my question is unclear. Sorry, I have to
Okay.
cut you off. But I'm
Mhm.
saying, as a non-believer, as a
Mhm.
non-theist, right?
Mhm.
I need you to like say if like an atheist came to you and like, huh, I seen a ghost, and then I need you to like try and hypothetically and theoretically explain the concept of ghosts without having any type of belief system or any knowledge of anyone who is a theist about ghosts.
Yeah, well, I mean, what I would say right away is, can we test this? You say you see a ghost. I go to that person. I'd say, all right, let's go to that same location. Let's try and do exactly what you did and regenerate that ghost.
Okay, so so that I'm glad you said that. Do you think these ghost hunters are full of poo poo, or they had too many
I'd say it's a mix. I mean, I hate to say it, but I mean, ghost hunters, priests, pastors, imams, rabbis, gurus, 50% of them, I think
Okay, so
are fraudsters. 50% of them, I think, truly believe it, and there probably is a little overlap.
what do you think, that ghosts are scientifically sound, a complete scientific nonsense, or theories just like um attachment to the people they lost and they completely like Dululu
I would
town?
say it's wishful thinking up until the point that we have credible scientific evidence to believe in it. I can't say that for 100% sure we'll never but I would say I am convinced ghosts do not exist. I think there's reasons for why we as humans value this mechanism as consciousness, and I just view ghosts as kind of a floating consciousness. I don't understand why they would exist, and thus they seem unmotivated to me.
So
Like
let me ask
I
you a
oh no, go
question.
ask me.
Okay, so what's your definition of consciousness and a soul?
I do not believe in souls. What I would say as a consciousness is it is a system of awareness for accepting and outputting stimuli, information.
Okay, so there's a lot of atheists who are not you. You're cool. You're actually extremely smart, and I have a high respect for you. Thank you for
Thank
still
you,
letting me
Garuda.
talk.
Sure.
But there's some atheists, not you, who say like, "Oh, it was like in my past life, I thought it was a spider." I'm just like, that's not even like atheism. But they say they want to put their consciousness into a robot.
Sure. I would argue that's reincarnation. You're right. That you can be an atheist and believe in reincarnation. There are Buddhists that do. I do not believe in reincarnation, and I would say for many of the same reasons I don't believe in ghosts, I also don't believe in reincarnation.
No, I'm not talking about reincarnation. I'm talking about they say they want to download their consciousness. So
Oh,
do
well,
do you no, I have actually a real question. Do you
mhm.
believe that AI, artificial intelligence, would exist, or do you think it's just nothing more than a facade?
I do. Well, currently, I think we have things that we call artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence is not artificial consciousness or artificial sentience. And so I don't think we have the capability to upload our brains matrix style to anything yet. We have they're very sophisticated learning language models. They try and uh, do the same things that our neural networks are doing, but they aren't there yet. And it's mostly just the communication step. I don't want to say it's hollow, but they're just doing the last part of what we do, which is to say, spit out all this information, but they don't have the capacity yet to have feelings. I wish they did. Not yet.
Okay, so now, if you don't mind, if someone else has to talk, I don't want to keep you forever because I'm
Nope.
glad you said that because I agree with you.
Oh, well, there you go. And no, Garuda will probably go on for another 15, 20 minutes, but you're going to be the
50,000
only
hours,
conversation.
or maybe for the end of time, because I respect you so much. Your brain is actually truly important.
Oh, thank you. Whew, I'll tell you, you make a girl blush.
I mean, don't tell anyone that like I'm gonna send you a DM to try and get married. I'll get beat up later by the Christians.
I won't tell anyone. This isn't live, is it?
Okay, no,
No.
I'm just having fun though. But you know, I'm not real though. But
What?
do I need to mute myself, or do you want to keep talking?
Well, do you have any final points? I'd be willing to talk. I don't think I'm convinced
Okay, my
yet
final
of a
point.
ghost, but it's interesting. I think we had a good conversation.
My final point is like if you put your consciousness, because I'm gonna go scientific, that means you would have to, like atheists believe, that is in your brain. So that means if like you put your brain into a robot, your brain will still rot because your brain is still aging and the robot is not, unless it get rust. And then it's not your
Well,
brain. So basically,
well, there's a few things there. First of all, we are indeed biological, squishy meat machines. And so,
taking time
yes,
bombs
if you
until
were to
we
put,
declare like, oh, my brain don't work,
so if you were
and
to
take
just
a
take a
permanent during
brain
that.
and shove it into a computer, yes. I mean, the sci-fi has ways of handling this. You know, they put it in some sort of liquid or something that enables it. But right
To
now,
keep your brain suspended though. But don't you think that, like, okay, because I think you might agree with me or disagree, but don't you think that it just like every single thing you do as a human being, the robot won't be able to do it? Because if you load your consciousness into it would not have a soul or a consciousness like you. All it will be is just like the last thing that it happened, and the robot is like functioning at you. It's like, wow, this robot doesn't age or anything like that. It's just like you, to the point where you either die or your consciousness or your brain get loaded into the robot.
I
And it will never be able to go past that because it can make conscious decisions like you.
So I don't have the soul problem because I don't believe that souls exist. I don't believe there's anything but natural things going
So
on
can
here.
you at least like kind of agree with
but
consciousness?
Yeah, but hold on. But let me address the other part. But there is something that they refer to as the hard problem of consciousness, and that is to say, if we were to build everything exactly like we have going on here, would we still be the same person? Is it still going to be conscious? Is it still going to be able to have the same experiences? I would give you a very solid I don't know, a very hard maybe. And thus,
so can I give you my scientific theory?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so we live on Earth. I suffer through pain, trials, and tribulations. If I put it in a robot and just only put my brain and my lungs to keep my brain alive, I will never. The body will never experience anything.
Well,
so basically, at that point, it will only be when I put myself in a shell. But I will never be able to like learn and just like, wow, I'm getting old. As like I have to do exercise because I'm getting chubby. It's like, oh, maybe I want to eat this donut. It's like, you know what? I can eat like 5 donuts until I have to be like, huh. It's like getting on a treadmill.
But how do
But
you
a
know?
robot doesn't have to do that though,
But
because
how do you know?
there's no respiratory system anymore, and there's no digestive system anymore. There's nothing more liquid and WD-40. So they will never be able to be my consciousness. It will just be a former shell of what will be myself. And also too, it will never understand the whole concept of humanity.
Okay, but that is if we were to look at a hard drive right now. And I think if we were to look at the separation between biology and computers, yes, right now they cannot think for themselves. They can only collect inputs from other people. However, in the future, there may be creatures, organisms made of silicone that have the ability to have thoughts and feelings and make choices. I think learning is actually not that hard. I think we have artificial learning and artificial ways of doing it. It's actually the really sloppy, muddy, dirty stuff that we have a hard time emulating. The things that we generally in debate circles, excuse my language, crap on all the time, like emotions, like getting a robot to feel sad that it's raining outside. That is harder than trying to get a computer to understand thousands upon hundreds of thousands of documents. They're
That's
not.
true because robots have like a super technology chip in their brain, so they go just like, who? It took me like 10 years to learn how to cook, but a robot can be like, "Boop, I know how to cook." It's like like when it rains, I'm just like, oh, it's raining. Thank goodness I could go outside in my water boots and my jacket, and there's less people outside. I'm like, oh my god,
Well,
I'm gonna ruin my hair. I'm just like,
but
there's
I
no
would
less
also
people
argue
outside.
we have the wrong misconception. We view computers also as these very strong, unbreakable things when truly it is the opposite. As biological organisms, our
Mm.
bodies can naturally heal themselves, defend against it. We have immune systems and all sorts of mechanisms. Computers are very fragile. They don't last very long, and thus,
Amy,
yes.
Amy, I would love you to give me the grace to talk about it another time, but I just want you to like know I understand exactly what you're saying, and like,
Mhm.
can humans make sentient beings out of robots?
Well, that's what I was saying. Is in the future, as they toughen
Do you
up,
really think that will
because
happen? Because I think it's not gonna happen.
see, I think you
A
think it's
robot,
not going to happen,
artificial intelligence will always rely, and the last thing they rely on is humans
but
to codex them.
I'll tell you why I do think they will. Because I'm telling you all these short givings about computers because slowly but surely they're being overcome. So, for example, one of the hardest things that we've had trying to get robots to do was have natural flows of walking, like just walking like a normal human, being able to uh, run, being able to bounce and jump. We've made great leaps and bounds in having these types of robots that can,
I
in
agree with you,
effect,
Emmy.
walk
Emmy, I agree with
with.
you because
Mhm.
human beings are very popular for making planes because they mimic birds. People make skydiving outfits because they mimic the hover squirrel. They also too do like squirrel diving, or sorry, air suits diving and skydiving because they follow the falcon. And also too, like on boats, they mimic whales and stuff like that. So I agree with you, but I
But
don't
can I
think
let me
humans.
put my asterisk? Let me put the real nail here. Is there would have to be special something special about consciousness for us not to be able to emulate it. I think it is a time game. We're working on other things, but eventually, I do think that you are going to have robots that think and feel just like we do. And I would ask you, what do you truly think is special about us, about our consciousness that cannot be emulated? Because we're making gains in the
Uh,
other departments.
our empathy, lack of empathy, and also too is created by God.
See, there we go. That is almost the thing I've been exactly. Is that you say it is created by God. And because I do not believe it is created by God, because I believe that it is a natural forming mechanism, I think consciousness is as important as digestion. And I use digestion very specifically because it goes hand in hand with consciousness. It's how animals and conscious beings very much handle food. And yet, we don't seem to care about digestion. We're like,
Well,
we'll be a robot.
I
Do we
do
need
care
to?
about
Okay.
Amy. I do care about that just because it's like a robot, or just like, ooh, I have empathy and I could think like a human being. Just like, wow, this robot just drank a whole bottle of like WD-40 and a whole a bunch of like gasoline and like I
But
can't eat that. I
they
can't digest that. I just ate a taco and I'm over here trying to survive. I have to run to the
but
bathroom
here's
and
the
be like,
thing, just
stupid human.
because
Like, why does
in
robot
the
call me stupid? It's just like my body doesn't work like yours.
but there's no free lunch, so to speak. That expression is to say robots don't run on nothing. They still need energy of some sort. And I know you're joking WD-40, oil, electricity. I mean, the closer we get to creating, excuse me, sponsored by coffee, biological like synthetic organisms, the more they may need something that is sugar based, something that is more like our food. But even if they didn't, even if they're sitting there and drinking oil and having a gear breakfast, I'm just making this up.
Get
I,
breakfast. No, I like that saying. I have to steal it if you don't mind.
No, you're fine. But even though I feel like we would still be empathetic, what would ultimately change? They'd still have to get in line just like anybody else. They'd
Yeah,
still
because
have to go buy and spend money to get the supplies and the energy. In essence, it would be similar but different.
no, because I've been like, hey, I'm trying to do this little quick job, and there's also the road like human. I have eaten parts, a bunch of crunch, and it's like coffee, good. It's like fuel. It's like human
Right.
urine. I'm just like,
Come on, my
it's like how
friend.
much is coffee? It's
Our
like you put
language
motor oil in
models.
my coffee, and it's like I'm not gonna make it past like 2 hours
Can I be
before I
honest with
have to
you?
like be in a toilet and just like the motor oil.
We anthropomorphize things all the time that are
We
not
do. That's a
alive.
fact.
And
That's a fact,
so
and it's kind of
I
creepy
think
sometimes.
that once you start having these robots that can pass the Turing test, because right now, I mean, we have a lot of bots online that pass the Turing test all the time, because the Turing test doesn't mean that you have consciousness. It means that you act in a way in which another consciousness thinks that you're conscious or the person is conscious. And so we have very sophisticated already language models that speak like humans. And I guarantee you, if they were speaking the way like they are now in a physical form, we would treat them like agents. We would treat them like people. It would
Well,
be hard not to.
there's two things though, because I'm a kind of a little bit of a nerd, but like the whole Star Wars universe, we're humanoids, like humans, but there's other aliens, and also too there's like robots who are sentient. So I understand
Sounds
this,
like a good
but
show.
hmm? Ooh, I
Sounds
love
like
it
a good
all.
show.
No, Star
Um.
Wars, the Star
Oh,
Star Wars universe.
Gotcha. Oh, I'm a big Star Wars. I didn't hear you say Star Wars. I am a big Star
Yeah,
Wars
Star
fan.
Wars universe. Yeah. So they have sentient robots, and also too like
Sure.
you could understand like language from other human beings who are like flesh or not robot.
See, but
We're
even
not
there,
clones, you know what I
we
mean?
could
So it's like
see.
I could talk to you forever.
Thank you, Garuda. I will say though, we're about at 52 minutes. We'll probably go about another 10, 15. Um,
Does anyone want to talk to you? Because I don't want to
no,
hold up the whole
no.
show.
This I was supposed to speak to someone named Salty Princess, and as I was setting up, I watched them get server muted and text muted, and they
Ooh.
left the server. And so I was like, well, okay. And so you volunteered to come, and I'm glad you did.
I'm glad you entertained me because like I'm still trying to understand like the concept of atheists talk about ghosts, like the whole concept. So like my whole concept is that okay, so when we stand on our feet, right? So we have to
Okay.
break it down to when we consume food, we have electrons and we have our whole digestive system trickle in the body to our organs and the energy trickle into our bloodstream, which is the digestive system, and then it goes into the blood system when it goes through like the liver and it goes to the brain. Complex. Then it goes through the brain and just like, huh, I'm not about to die. I'm full. Like, ha, watch me do a backflip, baby. Oh, I'm full. I was like, oh, I almost broke my toe because I was too full. Let me wait for like 2 hours.
Sure.
That's a complex electrical system.
Sure. What I will say, because I hear you using that word complex a lot, I would push back that design things are complex, or that the hallmark of design is complexity. And so I
Okay,
would
so
say by, oh no,
no, sorry, go ahead. I cut you off.
no,
My
I would
bad.
say by us being complex isn't actually evidence that we were created.
Ooh, I could give you one theory why I think we are created.
Okay,
Have you ever seen the lunar and solar eclipse?
sure.
How long have it been happening? Because I've seen one lunar eclipse, but I've seen since I was young, I've seen three solar eclipse. You telling me that was created or it magically happened, even though it was
No, that's a natural phenomena that just comes from
natural
every once,
phenomenon for how long?
generally only a few seconds.
No. Okay, so the phenomenon of the solar eclipse. How long has it been happening in human history?
In all of human history.
Okay, so you say like do you believe in that it was created to perfectly, not perfectly, but like had the tides, or do you think it magically just happened out of nowhere?
No, I just think that it normally doesn't line up, and this is just the rare time that they actually are aligning, and it
No, but
creates
does it
these.
happen though?
How it's been happening ever since and I would use this word, the solar system formed.
Okay, that's fine with the solar system because Sol is the name of our star, which is the sun. Sol.
Yes, it's how Superman
Forget
gets his
is the name of
powers.
Ramud in ancient times, right?
Okay,
The question is, how long has the solar eclipse been happening?
since there was the moon and there was the Earth and Sun.
Okay, so do you believe it just randomly happened, or it was created to actually help the tides?
No, I believe it was randomly formed.
Well, I mean, you probably gonna give me like a big thesis on this,
I
but however,
mean,
though, like I want to
okay,
give you the biggest hug ever, though,
I'm hugging you
because I
back.
really, I never know I would respect someone like you, but I want to give you the most massive bear hug and just like whoa, and just like hold on, and just stop playing the Disney music real quick. It's just like we can't hug each other like that. As a
It's
religious person,
okay. A lot of
I adore
platonic
you. I
love.
adore you, though.
Sending that love right back to you, Garuda. This has been a civil and fun conversation.
Yeah, I told
Um,
you I'll be good faith though, but still, you haven't answered. Okay, so let me do this
oh
right.
yeah,
Um, can you give me like say like um goals has nothing to do with extra to not extra but the anything would do with like theism or anything has to
correct.
do with like what you might call it the supernatural.
I would
Can you
almost
give
bet
me can you
aliens
give me a
exist.
scientific theory or your explanation of how there might be like actual ghost encounters?
Sure. What I will say, I believe, first of all, I don't believe we've been visited by aliens, but I believe the universe is big enough and there's nothing about uh, Earth that is very special that it couldn't happen on other planets.
Wait,
But
so hold on.
mhm,
So I have to cut you off though. But so you believe that we're the only one in this cosmos, on this Earth?
on this Earth, yes. What do you mean? I
So
believe.
Earth? Okay, so like we have like maybe like a quadrillion and a month of planets. You think we're the only one on Earth,
No,
and we
no,
have to
no.
expand our seeds to another planets or the Goldilocks habitable zones and other galaxies?
Well, I would say that's kind of. I hate to analogize us
No,
to
I'm not an
viruses,
atheist,
but
so
that
I'm
is
not an
kind of our
atheist, but
thing.
I'm
We
just asking the
spread.
question.
Yeah, well, I think that we're always going to want to spread. That's part of our DNA as just living creatures. But I I guess what I'd separate out. I think life exists out in the universe. I don't think we have been visited by any other life forms. Do I think we should spread? Well, I mean, this Earth isn't going to last forever. So if we do want to survive.
Oh. So okay, so how much time do you have?
I don't know. How much time do you need?
A quintillion
A
years to talk
quintillion.
to a beautiful person like you?
Thank you so much. Well, let's
Well, I've
do.
never enjoyed talking to someone so much. I told you I'm gonna be good
Well,
faith.
thank you. How about this? We'll do one more topic, and then I'll let you wrap up, and I'll let you say whatever you want for a
Oh, I'm
closer.
gonna say what I want right now and topic, but open for debate.
But you know what I mean, exactly. Okay, so what was you said you had one more point though? I'm curious.
Oh, I forgot my point, but
I
I'm
was
pretty
talking
sure that
about aliens and the solar system and yeah, I
okay.
mean
So yeah,
carbon makes sense why carbon and liquid water gave rise to Earth. It makes sense why life is here. It is random, truly on a universal scale. It is random, but it isn't random in where it ends up arising. As in, it would be random if life had arose on a frost planet with no carbon, like this really weird element that can't really mix with a lot of stuff. But carbon is very volatile. It loves to mix with other stuff. We have
that is
liquid water.
true. This is why
Liquid. Oh yeah.
this is why if you get stuck in a coal mine, you don't want to fart because you get carbon monoxide poisoning. And this is just like people will die. But I'm just like
These are
cover
the
my breath
important
and then fart
PSAs we want on
and
this channel.
like yeah, because if you fart though, that might be like farts is the reason why we're here. But in the Goldilocks zone, we fart and just like we create life, not necessarily me, but life is created with multiple things. Farts, me rubbing my foot on a carpet and just like, oh, let me touch you, like, oh my god, you just shocked me, and then like, it's like liquid, and just like, baby girl, and like I'm crying because you're my daughter and you just got married and pregnant. And it's like, damn, I have to give you my gun or throw it away, or I don't know.
That escalated
So,
quickly.
yeah, there's a multiple things that you could explain on Earth. So I understand your theory that outside the Goldilocks zone, like which I think is aggressively stupid, is people going to Mars. It's like the coldest day on Mars is like minus 200 degrees, and the coolest day on Mars is like
Sure,
20 degrees.
but that's comparing it to our planet in which it is nice, warm, and cozy. If
Yeah,
you
that's
were to
right. So we could
compare that
complain. We could
negative
complain like, oh,
200,
it's 35 degrees. It's like, oh my god. I mean, like, Texas is 100. Like, are you dead? And just like, no. But at least we get to complain about the weather. But imagine complaining on the weather on Mars. Ooh,
but look, I'll give you the example. Venus has a temperature of 864 degrees Fahrenheit, which is 462 degrees Celsius. It's also in the Goldilocks zone. So it's easier, I think, to warm that place up, especially when we know we've warmed planets up. All we really have to do is do what we've done to this planet, but actually mean to do it. You would just need a run house green
no, but
effect.
I think Venus is solar locked though, so you would
It,
have to literally live like at a thin line,
we wouldn't live on
and
Venus,
it's too
or
dangerous because all it takes is huh.
we wouldn't live on Venus. It's much easier to do what is happening on Venus. Venus is a runaway gas house effect. It is that hot because of those types of same gases that we're creating on this planet. If we were to put some of that onto Mars, we would heat it up, hopefully to a point where it would be a livable process.
Well,
We
that's the
don't have the
thing is
technology
though.
to do that yet, though.
No, but yeah, that's true because most people think that Earth plants or humans could survive in the natural habitation of Mars atmosphere. It's like what? It's like most plants can't even
It's
survive on Earth.
it's
So like, what makes you think is good? It's like you want to live in a biodome your whole life, and it's like if one of those walls get cracked, it's just like everyone is dead, or like people who are in the vicinity
Sure.
because
I
you
mean,
can't breathe.
two things. One, humans live in crazy places all over. It's why you have people living at the hottest region and at the coldest region, everywhere except for maybe Antarctica. And then two, it would only be in some sort of extreme circumstance. Either the planet truly is too filled, we are losing the planet is, dying. It doesn't save the red gianting, because Mars will also be eaten when our star dies, so we're still going to need to go to somewhere else, Europa
So
or
let me
something
tell
like
you
that.
this.
Without a
Let me tell
star,
you this
how
as
would
my last
Europa
statement. Let me tell
stay?
you this as my
Yes.
last statement. On Mars, you will lose the pull from Sol's gravitational pull, and the gravitational pull of Earth, standing on Earth, will not be the same as Mars. So basically, you will be deformed every single generation. You'll be deformed and weaker, and you will
Deformed?
look like a
Well, no.
Martian
So
and not
there
a
is going to
human
be
being anymore.
there is a gravity difference. But yes, when you go to a different environment, evolution is always taking place. That's how,
Yeah.
but it would take a very long time. Tactically speaking, yes,
No,
the
it will
second,
no. In my opinion, it'll happen in the second generation.
well, the second, I don't want to talk about what they
Well,
would
no,
look
hold
like
on,
and
no,
things
hold
like.
on.
What I would say is they would be
Astronaut, hold
Martians.
on, my
The
friend.
second generation are Martians, just because that would be the name of what they would be called, but they would still be
No,
humans.
no, hold on, because astronauts say they have to aggressively, like when they space travel, they have to aggressively work out because their bone is going to be crippled and deformed. So yeah, it's only going to take the second generation, and they're going to be deformed, and they're going to not look like human anymore. I'm just like, what? They come back to Earth. It's like, what in the alien? And I'm just like, hey, yo, get these aliens. It's like, I'm a Martian. Like, go back. I don't even know how you speak English.
I think there would be ways. You just have to make sure, again, if there are calcium is being taken out of the bones, then you replace the calcium. All I'm saying is there's always going to be, especially when we're at the frontier, always going to be risks. People died when we came over to the quote unquote new world. People died, while we were trying to make
This is true.
low
This is
Earth
true.
orbit,
But we was
get to
on
the
Earth,
moon.
though. This is true, but we was on Earth.
Sure, but this would just be another frontier. I
No
mean,
one could live on the moon though without their limbs snapping into like twigs. They have to literally spend the whole time eating
but how do you know
chemical
that,
not the
again,
food and like spend the whole time not to die. They
we
come
are
back.
arguing sci-fi, and it gets the closer we go into sci-fi, it sometimes feels like, I don't want to call it religious, but we are arguing philosophical things here, as in, like, I mean, there could be a moon base that has gravity, and it has all the exact amazing things that Earth has in just this small little space. And how's that possible? Well, we would have to create the technology. That's why I don't want to go too far into this, because it is complete hypotheticals. I'll give you the one thing, though, that Neil deGrasse Tyson pushes forward to make sure that I have my liberal card and my hair becomes a little bit more blue. Generally, this type of thing comes when we support government projects, big government projects. It doesn't come from the private sector, because the private sector does not want people to die. The private sector does not want to lose profit. And so these big money making, sometimes dangerous adventures are oftentimes public sector funded projects that push the country, if not the species, forward. And so it'll take a long time. And I think right now you're right. We need to take care of the problems on Earth while also pushing for us to go on the frontier. We can walk and chew bubblegum. But yeah, Garuda, do you have any final thoughts? We'll start to wrap this up, but it has been a lovely conversation, and I'm up for having more. Oh, I think his sound might have died again. Hopefully in a second he'll come back, and if so, I'll give him an outro. And if not, we will just outro. It has been fun. I'm glad he came on, because honestly, this stream was almost in limbo for a good minute or two, because I was like, oh my goodness. It always takes
Can
me
you
a
hear me?
while. Oh, yep, now I
Mhm.
can. What's up,
Oh,
Gardo?
sorry. No, I just wanted to say like big hugs from my end. But I'm saying like you are 100% right is because they haven't even explored the whole entirety of the ocean, but they want me like I'd rather go into the ocean than strap a rocket or like strap myself to like a untested spacecraft and whimsically think that I'm not gonna get like tossed to space. At least someone could find me in the ocean eventually. In space?
and,
No. You know?
and I'm up for supporting both. I'm up for supporting both the rocket program and also for James Cameron to keep on going down there because he is amazing.
Hey, I agree with you. I agree with you on that.
But okay, Garrido, this has been a lovely conversation. But would you like to tell people? Do you have got anything going on the internet? Do you have a channel or anything you want to send a shout out? And if not, anything? Final thoughts.
Oh yeah. I love everyone. I don't care about your demeanor, your skin hue, nationality, or if you're from a different planet. Shout out to extraterrestrials, whatever. I just want you to know that if we don't all work together, we'll get clapped in our the Milky Way galaxy if we don't come together as a galactic force. And also too, if you're from Andromeda, I love you also too.
Well, eventually we're going to be from Andromeda too once we collide, but that might be a long time from now. Um, all right, Garrido, it was lovely having you on. Keep on coming on. I am glad that he did because, like I said, we were in limbo for a good minute or two because Salty Princess got muted. I don't know why she got muted. It's very interesting because it seemed like a pro-Christian, anti-Muslim channel, but they were like, all right, atheists, come on in. And somehow one of the Christians got muted and kicked. Good times. But we had a good time with Gyarados. I'm gonna probably change this to like a ghost image or something instead of a princess. And it has been fun. I'm sorry I didn't send out many shout outs. I saw many lovely people in there. I see Fred. I see thank you so much, Gyarados. I see Rembrandt and Robin and Ember and everyone out there. Taco was out there earlier. Sending love to everybody. But I think we are gonna head out. Beamsy, sending love. Um yes indeedy. We were going to have a stream Thursday. I apologize. That became Sunday, but we are getting the video ready. So hopefully there should still be more fun content up and coming. But with that, y'all. Oh, is there anyone? What day is it? Is there anyone else live? I doubt it, but let's just check just in case. No, nobody's live. All right. In that case, I want to thank you all. Please don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe. This has been another Impromptu Debate You. Instead of Salty Princess, it ended up being GarudaLegends. We had a fantastic conversation. Please send love to him. I do want to also send love to my co-host, James W., along with all of the lovely people in chat and everyone who makes this stream, our mods and everyone who makes the stream so amazing. Like I said, if you like the stream, the like, follow, subscribe, blah 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 blah. Sending love to all of the people who send in super chats, all the people who send love with channel membership with our evolving badge system. I do like me some evolution. I didn't want to get too much into it because I could tell he was like, come on, we're here to talk about ghosts. But I do, because creationists, especially the fundamentalist, that's that really anti-evolution pull. But I enjoyed this conversation. Okay, bada 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 bada. Shout outs, everyone else. All right, this has been Impromptu Debate You. And we will see you all on the next episode of Skeptic Ball Z. Ooh, okay. I'll take it. Ember says we got Joven stomping bigots. Can I pin. Do. We're gonna get it. Here we go. All right, y'all. It's pinned. I am going to send you love. My co-host James W. and I'm Amy Newman, and we will see you all on the next Skeptic Ball Z. Good night, everyone. Mwah. Wahaha. Good night, everyone. Sending love.